This time, what is different is that the origin of the crisis is not in the financial sector. In previous crises, at least those that I had to encounter, were all in the financial sector, whether it was the Wall Street crash, the Asian financial crisis, the 2008 financial crisis stemming from the US. This time for us is very different. What we define as crisis, of course, was the social unrest almost a year ago. And that did not entirely impact on the financial crisis. It's more business continuity plan. How do we ensure that our staff were safe, that they can get to work? How do we ensure that the market can operate orderly? And that we relied on our staff. And then when we come to the virus situation, the first and foremost consideration is really the health and safety of our staff. So the consideration, it's not so much in other financial crises where it was a possible collapse or the impact on the financial market. Of course, by then we are already quite used to the business continuity plan. And now the third element is the China-US tension, which of course it's out of our control. You have to really think ahead of time. That's where the risk management for each institution comes in, whether it's banks, whether it's commercial entities. You do have to think about crisis management before the crisis arrives. So you have to have a whole set of menu to tell the staff what to do when a crisis happens. Usually you have a small team. And I remember many years ago when we tackled the Asian financial crisis, that was really actually the first time. And then we developed the menu as we went along. And the first question is, who decide we should push the button? In other words, who decide it is now a crisis, that we are in crisis mode? So that is a very important question, because usually, it doesn't happen with a big bang. It's gradually in the financial market, a little bit. Of course, there are situations where it was, like a big bang and something happened. But preparation is very important, and you can never be overly prepared, and you can never be suitably prepared in the sense that each crisis is different. But there are some certain basic elements that you have to think through ahead of time. For us at the exchange, we have to ensure that the market operates orderly, that our systems are robust, and we are part of the larger Hong Kong financial infrastructure and framework. So together with the HKMA and the SFC, and obviously under the leadership of the SAR government, the Financial Secretary, we are very much part of that entire financial ecosystem that is holding up Hong Kong as an international financial center. Our role is to ensure that the market operates smoothly. So our special role is in terms of the risk management there, to ensure that there's no disruption. Now, the markets go up and go down, the index, the volume, that's completely out of our control. And it happens in every market. So the soundness for us, the most important criteria, is to ensure that we operate orderly. So if you look at other markets, the fact that nothing happened doesn't mean that there wasn't a lot of work done. There's a lot of work done in the background to ensure that nothing happened, and therefore nothing catches the headlight. The most important issue for us as an exchange, as a market operator, and as the Hong Kong Inc. as a whole, is to ensure investors continue to have the confidence in our market. And confidence in our markets comes from the soundness of our system, the core value that led us to where we are today, namely the rule of law, the transparency, of course the predictability of our rules. We're not arbitrary. And any time that we bring in a rule change or a rule amendment, we consult the market extensively. So the market has always have input into the kind of reform or change that we want to make. So in that way, market participant is very much a partner with us. Nothing would be surprising to them. And they know that we will not take arbitrary action. And that in itself is a very important element to inspire confidence in our investors. Now, of course, there are larger macroeconomic, geopolitical issues that are out of our control, and the market will react accordingly. But what we can do is to ensure the system and as well as our value and continue to remain intact.